Peace, prosperity, love, and light. Welcome back to Deep Speak with Brother Sadiq. It is Saturday, and it is the Sabbath for those of you who celebrate, so Shabbat Shalom. Anyway, today won't be a long video. I want to talk a little bit about religion and its values and some of its drawbacks. So, as you know, if you've been watching the channel, that I have lived as a Christian, as a Muslim, and also as a Baha'i. And I have studied several religious faiths throughout my life. So that's the thing, you know, my whole thing has been like studying religion. I was always curious from the very beginning when my mom told me this is what God said, or this is what God said man's supposed to do, how man's supposed to live, this is what a father is, what a husband is, et cetera, et cetera. So the issue about that, the fact of the matter for me in relation to that is that, okay, so if there are different religions and different people believe different things about what God said, that's one thing, okay, that's one aspect. But most importantly, if there is a God, right? If there is a God, right? If God exists, and from everyone's analogy of who he is, he created everything. He is aware of everything, omnipresent, all of that. He's omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, he's everything that he wants to be, and we can't see him. He's, all that is and all that isn't. He is the most hidden and the most, seen as well. So it's so many dichotomies to the ideologies of different religions in relation to God, source, universe, creator, right? So young man, 5 years old, you curious, if God is real, right? If God, this being, however, wherever he is in the sense of how people like to teach it to you, if he is an existing real fact and being, then what did he say? If he made us, if he made me and he made you and he made everybody who ever existed, he know everything that's going to play out ever in the future and everything that's already been in the past, then what did he say? So that was my curiosity. That's what it was for me, because life to me, that's like the most important thing to know, right? Being a doctor, a judge, a lawyer, all that's cool. But if you don't know why you're here and there is a God, right? So that's the thing. If there is a God, what did he say? All right. So I wanted to know what the Christians said he said, and the Buddhists, and you see, so that was it. That's the thing. That for me, that was a valuable lesson, because it gives me not only a deeper perspective on my own personal relationship with the Creator based on the ideas and understandings of how all of the people of different cultures and religions and I guess you would say practices think and believe in relation to the Creator. Right, so you get the individual ideas that they all have in their cultures and religions, and then you also get the similarities. You see the things that are shared amongst them all as well. So, in these times, you hear a lot of people say, oh, people just patchwork their religion together, woo, 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 woo. I don't argue that that's what's happening, and I'm not saying that it's wrong. Some people argue that it is wrong. But the fact of the matter is, your relationship to the Creator is extremely personal. It's your own. And so your understanding in relation to that Creator, that source, that universe, that etc., is your own. You have to educate yourself. So one of the Baha'i principles is that as far as, there is no hierarchy. There is no priest, pastor, teacher, leader, woo, woo, woo. Okay, there is only they're what is known as a manifestation, right? Manifestation of the Creator on this earth plane, and his name is Baha'u'llah. And so one of the things about religion that he says is that it is intended to join us all together. If it becomes a source of division, then it is best that we leave it alone. So that is where I stand personally. But my understanding and all of my spiritual wisdom and knowledge comes through my understanding of these different practices. Okay, Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism. I have a friend who is a Rastafarian high priest. And so I have seen a lot of different perspectives on how we relate to God, you know, our spiritual source, and the vitality of our own life in relation to that source which created us. So that's what it was. You know, that was the most curious thing for me, because understanding those different religious perspectives, those different cultural perspectives, gives me, I think, a really broad understanding of how I can relate to the Creator in almost every aspect of my life. So that's the value for me in that sense. And then when you have discernment and you have some historical knowledge of how a lot of this, you know, these doctrines came to be, and et cetera, you can also use your wisdom and, you know, have some discernment and understand the things that are not universal, and the things that are not positive, and the things that are not negative, and the things that are actually only related to the culture of the time that this was expressed, that this religious or spiritual perspective was expressed. So some things are not relevant anymore. Okay, so just imagine this, right? If you were alive in, say, 1870, before cars, or whatever year, you know, say 1850 or whatever, before cars, and you just had horse and carriage, you know, electricity, et cetera, et cetera. If you lived in those times, okay, and say, what is it, 2020? So we'll just say 1820, right? 200 years ago, right? If you lived in those times and you now live in these times, the information that you would need to survive and to live and to thrive and to relate to community, socially, you know, and further, would not be the same information that you would need today. Okay, so that is my perspective on the divisions in the religion. Okay, is that the information that was given through those manifestations, those prophets, those, you know, avatars, etc., was based on the culture it was given to, the area and the time frame in which these people live. And so the differences being those things related to the times and the cultures where they were thousands of years apart in different regions of the world. So that is just a little I guess you say some hot facts that I just wanted to kind of throw out there in relation to religion, because, like I say, I don't practice a religion in the sense of I am strictly ordered by the way the Christians or the Jews or the Hindus or the Muslims or the Baha'is or any of these people think, or their doctrines or their beliefs. In that sense, I can say that I am all of them, because my life's intention is to be that of a spiritual experience. And so living from that perspective, recognizing that we are physical as well as spiritual, yet, in my opinion, you know, valuing my spiritual experience and the values that are related to that growth more so. Not saying that you know, more so than the worldly experience. Not saying, like I said, that it has not its value, but I recognize, like I said, the personal relationship and the personal relationships that I have with people, and these are how it all relates. So the spiritual life that you have is not for you. Okay, it's not your own. Your wisdom, your knowledge, or whatever you think you have value of spiritual worth, it's not for you alone. You know, you were not born alone. You know, humans are social creatures, you know, and so the values and the characters and the qualities and the nature that you have that is of positivity and good and righteousness and light and sharing and caring and support and those things are for those who are around you, as an example to others who look at you as someone they may like to be like, children, you know, all of this. This is so your spiritual life is not really about you. It's about who you can help. It's about who you can advance. It's about helping those who sent into your circle. So like for me, like I said, I don't consider myself a teacher, but when God sends somebody in my circle, when universe sends somebody in my circle, When the ancestor sends someone into my circle who has a question that I have the information to share and help them with, that's what I do. So I consider myself an adamant student. I'm constantly trying to learn, and I am a reluctant teacher because I'm not saying what I have isn't valuable and that people shouldn't know it, but who am I to tell you your path? So if you are sent into my circle, then I feel I can relate emotionally, I can relate spiritually, I can relate energetically to know the value of my importance in this concern you have, whether I'm supposed to help or not. So that's how I play that. I thought I'd just talk about that because I didn't want the confusion of, in fact, I'll just say someone mentioned to me like, well, I don't believe in no religion, but you a young man. And they based it off of something that I had said. And I'm like, but you a young man, bro. I've lived the experience of having these things and understanding what they are and the values and the detriments and the relation to my life. You can't take what I said and do this on based on that. You have to live your life based on your own personal experience and have the experience and see how it plays out for you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't learn from other people, but I am saying the value of what you know carries much more weight when it's a personal education, when you've done the research yourself personally. The depth of what you know carries much more weight than, what my OG told me, what my grandmama told me or what the big homie told me, because that's valuable, but that's the majority of how our religious lives are, right? We don't know what the Bible talking about. We don't really know the depths of the history of how it came to be. We don't really know any of the history related to our religious. And I'm not saying everyone, of course, there are those who are scholarly and those who seek to know all of that. So that's what I did. But I'm saying the fact of the matter, most of us just get it because that's what grandmama said. That's what my mama said. That's what they said. That's what they did. And that's what I believe. And ain't nobody going to disrespect my mama and all this old crazy other stuff that ain't helping you to advance yourself spiritually. Generationally, we've been watching the same damn show for years, right? And I'm not knocking anybody's religion. I'm just saying, what effect has it done? When the black folks fucked up and getting their ass kicked, the religious community don't come out. You don't hear the Pope. You don't hear no religious leaders or communities come and say, that's some injustice. That's not fair. That's not cool. Nobody does that. I mean, you got a few black pastors because it's their own ass, right? It's their life. And it's so rare even though. It's so rare. The Poor People's Campaign. You know what I mean? It's some people involved in that who's speaking about some truth and some justice and some righteousness outside of their concern for, my 501c3 getting stolen or revoked or taken, and now I don't have funds to, collect my tithes. So, the religious life has its values, but it also has its drawbacks. Like I said, historically, those associations have told black people to calm down when it's time to rile up, when you should be riled up. Because fact of the matter, we ain't never really got nothing in this country based on our voting. We've only gotten shit in this country done towards our benefit when we stop somebody's money by being in their way. When we avoid spending money. The only thing they respect of us is the concern of violence, us tearing some shit up, destroying their property. Okay, that concern or financial. So our argument from a moral perspective, waste of time. Waste of time. We've been doing it forever. And like I said, the Muslim community don't run out and say, oh, they doing the injustice. They don't holler that for us. Okay, Farrakhan, but not the Muslim community in general. Neither is it the Christians, nor the Jews, nor the Catholics, nor the, nobody comes out and says anything about that. So, like I said, these are being used to divide our community, not being used to unite our community. So, black Christian, you get your ass kicked. Black Muslim, you get your ass kicked. Black Jew, you getting your ass kicked. Black Hebrew, you getting your ass kicked. Black whatever you are, you getting your ass kicked. So why your community ain't standing up for that? They see it on the news. They see all of this. Why is not the community bringing this to a forefront, bringing this to a head, bringing this to a moral issue in society? So that's what I'm saying. You know, we can use religion in the sense of learning your own path. But like I said, man, what is really going on is, you know, you giving your money to people who ain't really helping you do shit, man. You can learn your own relationship with the Creator, and that's what the value of your life is anyway. So you don't really need them people who asking you for your money, them tithes and all of that shit. That's you know, I'm not. Look, man, I'm just saying, what the fuck have they done for us when we be getting our ass kicked? What have they done? Hardly anything. Okay, hardly anything. Okay, so back in the day, yeah, Underground Railroad shit. Good, bless, love. We here, but we here now. So what's the next move for us today? What we gonna do today? You know, I ain't getting no Muslims running up on me saying, bro, we need to create this and put this together so we can help support this community. Ain't nobody giving a fuck about black people. Ain't no Christian organization coming to the community trying to do much in the community for no black people. Not on no major way, and not in no major way from any other religious faction. So what we have to do is make our own centers, like I said once again, you know, come together with our funds, our finances, our mental, our mental powers, our scholars, our thinkers, our doers, our warriors, our fighters, our sports and entertainers, and every other part of the community who is waking up to the boiling pot we're sitting in being turned up to high. Like I said, this is like our scenario. The black life in America is like the frog sitting in the water, and he does not recognize that he's being boiled to death because it's only being done gradually. Like, you don't even realize that you are the victims of a war because no one has said, we're at war with black people. We're killing the black people. It has not been publicly declared. So you don't realize that these people who you know in your family, in your community, that you see on the news getting killed every day with no justice, are victims of a war that is being launched on their ass. And because no one said, you are at war. We are at war with you. You are my enemy, black man. Black man, you are my enemy. Because no one has said that, you don't recognize that you are being eliminated, wiped out, slowly removed. You know, there is a title for you known as the useless eaters. That means you've not found your purpose. You're not adding anything to society. You're not of any value to anyone but your selfish self. And so you are a useless eater. And that is the plan, to wipe your useless eating ass out. So that is part of what I'm talking about. If you look at these last couple of videos, man, the heat up on you, you know, you are the first statistic of every negative health and life quality stat that there is in this country. You are at the bottom or the top, depending on how it's being rated. And you are the minority. So if you don't recognize that the minority is getting the worst treatment on every level, there's a silent war. No one said, oh, let's kill the black people, but it's happening. And because no one said it, you just sitting there, waiting on the game to come on, waiting on whatever you waiting on, watching shit and eating shit and, you know, whatever you doing. But motherfuckers putting a grip on you slowly, and you don't, because like I said, it's not happening immediately. You know, I guess if somebody said we at war with black people and then went up in somewhere and killed 9 people, oh, that already happened. My bad. They already killed 9 people in the church, didn't they? Oh, we didn't do shit then, right? So I guess they waiting on it to be like a high school basketball game and somebody just come in there and kill 40 black people at once and leave a swastika and say we are at war. You know, I don't know what you need to see to recognize that you are the victim of an unseen hand. And I told your ass why. Because you have spiritual gifts that were donned to you, that were given to you, that were imbued in you, that you were born into because of your history in this country. They inherited the earth, the finances, and the wealth. You inherited a spiritual bounty that you are not enacting. You too cool. You too cool to call on God or universe or, source or ancestor. You too cool. You too cool. You got it all. You figured this shit out. But you getting fucked up daily. So you ain't figured shit out. You just ignorant enough to keep your ego up there versus living with your spirit and starting to discern that my people been fucked up for a long time and I want something more for my mama and my children and my own future. So I'm going to keep it short today. I'm going to keep it sweet today. I got some reading to do, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So peace and blessings, love and light. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel, Deep Speak with Brother Sadiq. And please put this out as far as you can get it. We need to be on Twitter, all of those other... I don't even know all of the names of them. I'm so old school. I'm just, like I said, I'm an analog, analog in the digital world, right? What Badu say, analog girl in the digital world. That's me. I'm catching up to this digital thing, but my spiritual self ain't got nothing to do with that. So I'm good that way. But, trying to get this shit forward and get it out to the people and get it out to the masses, that's where I need the help at. In fact, I need to express that. That is where I need help at. So when I say I need help, that's the help that I'm mainly talking about. You guys sharing the video, anybody who subscribed to the video. So I think it's like 52 or 53 subscribers. If everybody shared the video, then that's 106 people, right? So each one teach one, each of them just pass it along, just share it. I'd appreciate it. And if you know more than that, of course, just share it, man. People need to hear this because we spiritually sleep, spiritually dead, unaware. Motherfuckers creeping up on us from every corner. In the Quran, let me tell you what the Quran say. I'm going to come at you from the front, from the back, from the left, from the right, from above and below. So that's where we are. And you're going to either wake your spiritual self up and start utilizing these gifts and requesting information in relation to how you do that. Or you're just going to keep being cool and flashing your money and swag-tastic and all of that shit. And, let's get them hoes and, let's try to get chose and all of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I was actually praying today and it turned into a rap. It was very cool. So I didn't know. I might have to spit for y'all one day just to show y'all that this is really real. But God bless. One love. Peace, love, light. I hope all of y'all attain to y'all heights and y'all start chasing y'all dreams. Peace.